All right, so it is no mystery that developing strong consistency will result in success in your life. No surprise. So today I'm going to tell you why being consistent is so fucking hard, what it actually is, and how you can be consistent fucking now. So first thing of note is that habits are locked in your subconscious and your nervous system. And your subconscious mind is actually what runs 95% of your life and how you actually feel about yourself. It's the part of you that holds who you actually are. You know, if you have feelings of not being good enough, fear of failure, fear of all this kind of stuff, that's where it's housed, and you don't consciously think about it. And is established a lot of times from childhood and then reinforced through your waking conscious life. Your conscious mind's only running about 5% of your life, but it is your conscious mind that programs your subconscious mind, which will create the habits and awarenesses in your life. So take a look at this. This is the identity pyramid. And you can see that at the bottom we have events, environment, circumstances, and trauma. Okay, so those are the things that happen to you, that have happened to you, that come up in your life, all that kind of stuff. And those will equal your beliefs, your values, and your attitudes, right? So what you actually truly believe. So once that becomes a part of your subconscious, it's now a belief that you have that you don't constantly think about. It's just a belief. There's many examples of that, you know, the belief that you're not good enough, the belief that rich people are mean, the belief that all men are cheaters, or anything like that. The values that you get, you know, again, it's not top of mind, but a lot of times the value systems that we have in place were created from our parents when we were growing up, or other things that we've had that we've kind of programmed into our subconscious, and then obviously the attitudes, how we feel about things in the world and all that kind of stuff. And that will create our identity. So all these beliefs and values is what makes us us. And again, it's habits. So just like driving, right? You don't think about it because your subconscious is at work. It's running 95% of your life. So anything that you believe about yourself or you believe about other people or other things, that's just going to be what's programmed into you. And so that will result in your actions and your decisions. So if you have a fear of not being good enough or a fear of failure or anything like that, your actions are going to be self-sabotage. They're going to be procrastination, right? Your subconscious is trying to save you from this perceived failure, from this belief that you're not good enough. So if we're trying to do something and we're not good enough, well, we don't want to get very far, right? Because we don't want to fail. Failure's bad. But also it's trying to lock you into your comfort zone, okay? And then obviously that's the results that we get. So if we're having a tough time staying consistent, that's obviously going to be the reason for it, okay? And you can see this little quote here: the strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. And that's true. And again, your subconscious is the one that's in charge of that, and you don't even think about it, just like you don't even think about driving to work anymore. So when we have a deep-seated belief that we are not good enough, or that something is really hard, or we need X, Y, and Z to achieve something, that becomes our identity, becomes our deep ingrained belief. Our subconscious and nervous system try like hell to keep us safe, to keep us locked into our comfort zone. So we procrastinate, we give into our desires, we sabotage, we remain where we're at, making consistency extremely difficult. So we have to change our inner viewpoint of ourselves, our inner beliefs, which shape our identity. We have to create that inner identity of somebody who is consistent and somebody who is successful and somebody who takes chances, takes risks, and moves forward and follows through with themselves. As Tony Robbins pointed out in an interview recently with Theo Vaughn, once you adapt the identity of a non-smoker and truly believe it is when you'll be done smoking, right? Because you could say, oh yeah, I quit. Well, what does that mean? It means you still identify as a smoker who just isn't right now. But when you identify truly as a non-smoker and your subconscious believes it, that's when you'll be done smoking, for example. So how do we overcome this to begin being super fucking consistent so that we're taking action and we're being consistent and we're moving forward? So here's a few steps for you. Number one, identify what it is you're afraid of. Identify how you actually think about yourself and the beliefs you have about success, money, relationships, health, all that kind of stuff. Okay? Trying to kill a dragon is extremely difficult, but trying to kill one that you can't see is pretty much impossible. And a lot of times with our subconscious is, again, we don't recognize that it's there. And so when we're not able to look at it objectively, then we don't know what's really controlling us. So get them outside of you. Okay. Get them out. Understand what it is that you are afraid of, how it is you actually view yourself. And this will take some time to sit with yourself and ask these kinds of questions. But once it's outside of you, you can choose if it fits in your life or not. You can see where a lot of these beliefs came from, right? A lot of them might come from parents. They might come from Instagram. They might come from all these different kinds of places. But you can say, oh, okay, well, why do I think this way about rich people if you're trying to make money? Why do I have this belief? Is it true? And you can choose if it fits in your life or not. And most of the time you'll find that they're not true. So take some time away from distractions and just write out some things that you believe regarding what it is you're trying to have success in. Number 2 is, once you're aware of patterns that you're living out, craft up what it is you actually want to do and achieve and whatever. The person that you want to be, the person that you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years. What did that person achieve? What does that person do? Okay. How do they spend their day? How do they conduct themselves? Why are they so happy? Why are they millionaires? What habits does this person have that got them this desired result? Okay, write those out. How does that person conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis? Okay, and number 3, start small with just one of them. The mistake that I made for several years was trying to implement everything at once. Starting Monday, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to do this much work. I'm going to read this many pages. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to learn a new language. I'm going to shoot YouTube videos. That doesn't fucking work. It's extremely overwhelming, and it's very, very difficult to follow through with all of those if you're already struggling to be consistent. It's going to have a worse effect, because when you make agreements with yourself and you don't hold it, you further destroy that inner self-image. You let yourself down. You prove your inner subconscious correct in the fact that you're not good enough. So just think about the times that you said you would do something and you didn't do it. You lost energy, right? You probably felt down, at least for a bit, because you let yourself down. And letting yourself down leads to depression. It leads to low self-esteem, and it dooms you to repeat it. Okay, it's like an addict. An addict feels bad about what they do, but it just pushes them to do it more, right? So having confidence, having high self-esteem, and that David Goggins discipline is built, right? People aren't just born with it. Those guys that we see, Jocko Willink and David Goggins and Joe Rogan, they weren't born with this ability to have discipline and follow through. They had to build it. And so out of the habits that we wrote down earlier, select one of the habits on your list and do that. Only do that. That's the only agreement. That's your only priority. And if you do that, you won the day, period. Everything else that you do in your day is a bonus. Trust me, this is fucking incredible. I only have a few habits that I try to do every day. And when I do them, I feel great. And it pushes me to do more things, which again is a bonus. And so that stacks up. But if I just look back at my day and say, okay, well, I did these 2 things. That was my priorities. I feel great. I'm accomplished. Perfect. And I'll tell you, the best place to start is sleeping habits. Have a night routine, have a morning routine. Go to bed within an hour of your target sleep time and wake up at the same time every day. This is what I have found as the biggest impact on not only me, but the people I talk to and the people that I've seen and the people that I've helped. I've seen that those who have consistent sleep routines have more energy, and they're far more productive, and they're just getting things done. Every time I speak to them, they've knocked out something else. They're working on more things. They've accomplished more. Right? And everybody that I've spoken to who doesn't take their sleep seriously, it shows. It shows. You're weekend warriors. Your body struggles to have any kind of consistency and energy and discipline when your circadian rhythm is all fucked up. So the best place to start is your sleep routines. It's been huge for me. And I noticed that when I slip up on occasion, like going to bed late or not waking up on time, my day feels fucked. It takes a while for me to get my bearings. All right, number 4 is track your progress. Have a little habit tracker thing each night for your night routine. Just go in there and select that you did it. I personally use Notion, and Notion has a cool little graph. So it has my daily habits, and I just have a couple in there. And so you just start with one, and then each night when you go to bed, just go in there and just select it. It'll show a little graph that you're staying consistent. And this helps you see that you're getting better, right? So this helps confirm that you are following through with the things that you said that you're doing. That confidence you gain is what will help you press on. So now you're not just doing it, you're also looking back and seeing, oh shit, I did do that. I accomplished that today. And that's going to give you energy. It's going to give you confidence, and you're going to be able to stack more things on that over time. But stick with just the one for at least a month. Nail it 30 times in a row or more. If you want to add something else, great. Just don't set it as an agreement yet. Only have the one agreement. Everything else, again, is a bonus. So your habit tracker only has one. If you want to exercise or work out or work on something or practice something, that's great. Don't set it as an agreement yet. Your only agreement or priority is just the one habit. And then after you showed that you did that every day for a month or so, then you can add in the next one. And I would recommend like diet and exercise, or at least exercise or something. Yeah, because then you're getting your sleep on point and you're getting your exercise, and that's what's going to generate you the most amount of energy. So when you start adding a few more, like working on your side hustle, learning a language, learning an instrument, whatever it is that you want to do next, you have a lot of energy, and you now proven to yourself that you can stay consistent with your sleep routines and your health. Number 5 is limit your priorities. So as I was just saying, you have one habit that you're building consistency with. Everything else is a bonus. Not everything can be a priority. It fucking can't. You have your one priority now. Priorities are agreements. And like I said earlier, if you don't follow through with your agreements, their inner self stops trusting you. And that attributes to the low self-esteem. That attributes to the not good enough, which will then result in less discipline and less consistency. So I know emergencies come up. I know we all have our things. I know, some people are parents, or some people are taking care of their parents, or some people have these obligations. I understand that 100%, but I'm talking about in general. Be careful on what you tell yourself is actually important. I see so many people placing huge burdens on themselves over things that are really not that important. I have another video on that as well. But you are important. So prioritize the things that are important to you. And that's basically setting boundaries. Setting boundaries to protect your agreements. And then if other things come up, if they fit within your day that don't, ruin your priorities, great. All right, number 6, and here's the big one. You will be tested. Things will come up to pull you away from what you want. It will. Desires will creep in. Excuses will come up. Fun opportunities will present themselves. You'll feel like, oh, I deserve it, all this kind of stuff. But what it is your inner world afraid of change. It wants to stay safe in your comfort zone, and that will manifest into your outer world. Okay, so it's still rattling around in there that you don't follow through, that you're not consistent, that, all this stuff. And when you start changing that habit, your subconscious wants to stay in its safe zone. Okay, so then your outer world will reflect that by just throwing in opportunities. Your friend wants to go out. This came up. Here's something. And it's all just to throw you off course, to get you staying out late, to binge drink again, to sleep in, to chase women, or whatever your comfort zone habits and desires are. And this could be very difficult. Your mind is incredible at talking you into it. As a reward, to cut loose. You deserve it. Just this once. I'll get back on the horse tomorrow. All that stuff. Because it's just trying to maintain its current identity. And so, again, you will manifest things to come up. And if you fail that test, then you're starting all over again. If you do give in to some kind of desire or something, you better not do it at the peril of your habits. Just don't do it at the peril of your habits, okay? I'll tell you a story. I've struggled with nicotine for a very long time, since I was 16, 17 years old. and I would stop for a while. And then after, say, a month or two, I would have like a week of just, let's get one thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Let's do it for a little while. Feels good. You know, you get the mental clarity or whatever for work, all that fun stuff. But as soon as I gave in, I'm just back on that horse again, back in my comfort zone. So watch for the tests. Make sure you stay aligned with what you want and don't forgo your new habits for it. And that will build consistency. So start small with one, track it, limit your priorities, and understand what you're agreeing to, and make sure you always hold your agreements. And again, keep the agreements very, very small. Over time, you know, say 5-6 months, you'll find yourself having 5-6 agreements with yourself that you're holding every day, and you're pushing things forward. You're in great shape. You're waking up. You feel energized. Your business is moving forward, all that stuff. But start small, start with one. That's how you build incredible confidence. That's how you have huge self-esteem. That's how you unlock your next level. I promise. Because you said, I'm doing this thing, and then you do it. You don't give in to the tests, and now that's your new identity. And you add a few more things, that's your identity. Now you understand that what I agree to is gospel. And if I follow it, then I will change. And that's how you build consistency. You stuck with me this far. Thank you. I really hope you got a lot from this. I really do. I'm going to be here twice a week for foreseeably ever. So if that sounds like a great time, I would love if you liked and subscribed. It helps me out. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Also, if you're curious about your subconscious identity, I do have a test. It's in the description below. So you can check that out. It's totally free, and it'll give you a mind map of how you view yourself in all 9 areas of your life. Super, super helpful, totally free. Check it out. I appreciate you. If you're still with me, leave me a comment. I'd love to talk with you. Other than that, have a fantastic day.